everybody. Welcome. We are doing this live right now. It's a special live talking about what has happened in the car industry. People are shocked that the car industry is not doing well. It's not doing as much as it could do, and there's the reasons for that. We want to get to the bottom of what's going on right now in the car industry, and a lot of people have been telling me that things haven't been going right in the car industry, and we want to do a deep dive today and see the cost of car dealerships. What has that amounted to? People not knowing exactly how much they are gonna be ready to sell. I don't know. You tell me. Just as we wait for the podcast to start and live, I want you guys to put up prayers and the people in Florida and people in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina. Hurricane Harleen is leaving some devastating damage, and people are cleaning up right now. So let's uh, do a basically a thought for prayers for this folks, and just keep chatting as you come on this live. I want you to type yes, yes, yes. When you type yes, it lets the algorithm know that people are live right now and you want to enjoy the conversation. So the conversation is on right now for select individuals that are live and they're looking to have a conversation about what's happening in the hurricane space. They're also looking to have a conversation about what's happening in the car space. The car industry is changing dramatically. Interest rates are coming down. Now it's September. You have a few days to get the best deals that you can with the car dealerships. Car dealerships are practically giving away cars right now. They're looking for people that can buy cars. They're looking for people that can get into a long-term car relationship. For those that already have relationship with some of the dealerships, they want you to come by so they can give you a lot of incentives. These incentives is for select individuals that have not seen this kind of savings in a long time. So these savings are going to continue. They're going to continue because the dealerships have excess inventory. They have excess inventory and they have not been able to sell cars in the last quarter. We have 1 million cars that need to be sold. Nobody knows where these sales are going to come from. But if you join, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Somewhere in the description, you can join the Carshares YouTube channel where we're going to talk about cars, like in the car industry. We're going to talk about the impact of interest rates and how these dealerships are actually not paying attention to what's going on in the neck of the woods. Go ahead and join the live right now. It's breaking, and we want you to put the thoughts and prayers to the people that were affected by Hurricane Harleen. Hurricane Harleen left a devastation here in Florida, moved up to Atlanta, Georgia, moved up to South Carolina, North Carolina next. That hurricane was devastating, but let's go ahead and put people in the prayer right now. A moment of silence just to remember those folks. Okay, so when you join this live, go ahead and type yes, 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 somewhere in the description. Join the live so we can have a conversation. Keep the conversation going because, again, this is going to talk about the car industry. It's going to talk about who in the car industry is making money and who is not making money. It's also going to talk about the strategies that I think you should employ right now to get your thing where it's supposed to be. So go ahead and keep having a conversation, and I'll be back to join you. And when you join, make sure you type yes, yes, yes in the description somewhere below. When you type yes, 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 it's going to allow the algorithm to get more people to join. Also, hit the thumbs button, like, subscribe, and we're going to talk about where the car industry is heading. We're going to talk about why there's so many incentives right now for companies giving consumers the edge. And oh, don't forget, when you join the Carshares YouTube channel, you're going to have exclusive access to merch. This merch will be discounted so you can get some savings as we go towards the holiday season. And we're going to appreciate your support on some of this merch that we're talking about. So look at the links below, join the channel, and get exclusive deals on the merch. Keep the conversation going. Hit the like button. And when I get back from my little break, we're going to dive deeper into some of the conversations that I know you've been waiting to have. Interest rates, car dealerships, who is going to be in charge in 2025? Who's going to be making sales? What dealerships are going to go out of business? I don't know, but some dealerships are going to go out of business. And the reason those dealerships are going to go out of business because they never bothered to sell any cars. They didn't ever bother to have any sales. So don't forget to like and hit the thumbs button in this live, because we are talking about the car dealerships. We're talking about the fact that a whole bunch of cars got submerged in water in Hurricane Harleen. What does that mean for the car sales industry? That means the car sales industry and these dealerships that have already been having problems have a bigger problem now because their cars are underwater. The cars are underwater. They're not underwater because the consumers have cars that are underwater or undervalued, and hence the dealerships are in a better position. Now, let me ask you this: are you in a better position as a consumer? Are you in a better position now that the car dealerships have not sold any car in the last 180 days? They have cars sitting in their dealerships gathering dust. And to make matters worse, you have Hurricane Helene that just came back and swiped them cars and put them underwater, effectively making their cars worthless. What does that mean now for a consumer that is looking for a deal? I'll tell you what it means. You need to be careful what you think is a deal in the car industry. Now, the chat lines are open. Go ahead and tell us what you think about what's happening in the car industry right now. Is it a good time to buy cars, or should you stay away from cars because the cars may have significant issues like flooding? Tell me what you think. Before you do that, don't forget to hit the smash button, hit the subscribe button, and share this live so more people can come. I'm going to be right back, but the chat lines are open. Boom, 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 shake the room. Boom, shake the room. Everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. I see you guys are on right now. I wanted to see and do a temperature check real quick. See where everybody's coming from and where is your neck of the woods. Go ahead and represent your neck of the woods right now. Represent your neck of the woods. Oh no, you shouldn't be out, the boys. What's happening? Hello, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, you shouldn't be out. I told you I was coming right back. Told you I was coming right back. I told you to chat. The boys, you ain't out. You need to come back and have a conversation. Have a conversation so we can understand exactly what's going on in the car industry. What's happening in the car industry. Appreciate the chat. Okay? Who's impacted? Who's impacted by what's going on right now? The hurricane. Who's impacted? We're going to share this live real quick. Make sure some folks can join. The live is going to keep going. Live is going to keep going. It's going to keep going. Now it's time to go ahead and start hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button. Now it's time to start talking about the conversation that we haven't had in a long time. And now it's the time that the car industry has seen a big problem this week. And you know what that problem is, folks? The problem is that you had a hurricane come through. That hurricane dramatically destroyed the car industry. And I'm not going to even begin to tell you about what that means for the excess inventory. I'm not even starting to talk about the excess inventory and how this has changed the dynamics of the car industry. I'm not even going to start talking about it. I'm not even going to start talking about the fact that there's not going to be any holiday car sales. I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm not even going to talk about the fact that you guys have been sitting on the sideline. You never took the deals from BMW. You never took the deals from Porsche. You never took the deals from Mercedes-Benz. You never took the deals from Volvo. Why did you not take that deal? Why didn't you take the deals when they were sending those incentives, telling you to come join, telling you to come buy, telling you to come spend, looking for the customers to come back, giving you 80% discount off MSRP. And you never took the 80% discount off the MSRP. Why was that? Why do you think the car industry was going to wait for you? Do you think the car industry has time to wait for people that ain't taking advantage of the MSRP discounts? Do you think that's what's happening? Do you think they're just going to sit around and let all those excess inventory go to waste? Or they're going to sell? Sell. Who's saying that they're going to sell all that excess inventory? Leave a comment in the chat. Type yes, sell. I can't hear you. I cannot see the chat right now. I can't see the comments saying sell. Who thinks they're supposed to be selling all them cars before the hurricane hit? Who thinks that's what was supposed to happen? They were supposed to sell them cars, and they never did sell them cars. Now they're in a bad position. You guys heard about the saying about jumping from fry pan to fire? Jumping from fry pan to fire? I would remiss if I didn't say right now that that's what's happening. They were jumping from fry pan to fire. Jumping from fry pan to fire. And that fry pan got so hot in the last couple of weeks that folks were not real paying attention to what was going to happen when the oil jumped from the fry pan and hit somebody's hand that was right there by the skillet. It hit somebody's hand and they went, ow! Because their hands were so close to the frying pan. They weren't thinking that something else could come on what I call a black swan event. And today's black swan event is Hurricane Helene. That thing has practically wiped out the car industry from here in Florida to Georgia, going all the way to South Carolina, making this all the way to Kentucky, all the way to North Carolina. Now a tropical storm, but I guarantee you them cars that people were sitting over there are not longer serviceable. Them cars that people were hoarding, like when in 2023, folks went out there and bought the Porsche 718 GT4 RS. They went ahead and bought that car and they were hoarding it. They hoarded that car to the tune, and they thought it would have been prudent to increase the price on that Porsche 718 for GT4 RS. Even though that was a new car that get in the marketplace in 2023, those same dealers took them cars into their inventory. Never mind that people had allocation for them cars. Now, guess what's happening with them cars? Flooded. Them cars are flooded, which means them cars are practically worthless. South Florida cars are worthless now because they've been flooded. And I'll tell you what, Hurricane Hermine make things very, very bad. Them cars are flooded. We can't deal with them cars anymore because you can't tell what's in the cars. You can't tell. No matter how them cars get clean, them cars are flooded. What we gonna do with them dealership cars? What we gonna do with them cars that went to the auction? What we gonna do with, oh, you don't want to get me started with these ones. What we gonna do with them Teslas? What we gonna do with them Teslas? Because you heard when the salt water hits the battery, it's probably worse off than anything you could ever imagine, because it could actually make them cars set houses on fire. That's what's been happening. That's what's been happening. Anywhere you see them cars close by a house and the salt water, the water, the waves that came from the ocean to them dealership lots probably have destroyed the cars as we know it. Them cars are no more good. So that's the question I'm trying to ask right now. What's going to be the next thing for consumers? Are the incentives that folks are given enough? Are those incentives enough to be able to make up for the lost revenues? And oh, by the way, expect the government to come and rescue some of these businesses. Expect the government to come and rescue some of these businesses. Then you got to worry about the lost income. Who's losing money? And how much money did they lose from their endeavors? Did they have lost revenues? Can you forecast the amount of revenues they were making prior to Hurricane Hermine? Are they going to lose a bunch of sales as a result of Hurricane Hermine? These are all questions that got to be answered. These are all questions that people are waiting for answers on. They're waiting to see if they're going to get made whole due to the fact that a hurricane, which I term a black swan event, came in and pretty much decimated the car industry. Decimated an industry that was already seeing drastic drop in sales. An industry that was looking for ways to get their head above water, literally. Now you got this water coming through and basically submerging oodles of dealerships, putting them at the brink of closeout. Oodles of dealerships are going to be shutting their doors because of this Hurricane Hermine. Not just in the Southwest, but there's a cascading effect and impact of a regional downturn in sales. There's a cascading effect, which means it's going to impact people in the Northeast, it's going to impact people in the Northwest, it's even going to impact people in the Midwest, for crying out loud. This is going to be a calamity. And on top of that, you guys probably heard there's a lot of protests. Folks are walking off the production lines. Okay? They're picketing and they're striking. Okay? First, they came up with the Boeing strike, where 33,000 workers said, enough is enough. You ain't giving us enough pay raise, so we're walking off the jobs. I think that was about 2 weeks ago. Then you have a situation that's happening right now as we speak, where the auto industry is not making any sales. They are not making any sales. Then you have the Black Swan event that nobody was tracking that just came through. And think about it for a second. Normally, you get at least a week's worth of warning if a hurricane is just going to show up and destroy some stuff. You get at least a week's worth of warning before that happens. But if you look at how this hurricane came through, you hardly had any time to prepare. Get a yes? Can I get a yes in the chat? The chat lines are open right now. Did you think this was something that wasn't supposed to happen the way it did? And do you think this spells grave concerns and danger for the automobile industry? If you think so, go ahead and say yes, yes in the chat, please. Drop a chat. Drop a yes in the chat. If you think this black swan of an event that happened, that's still happening because people are having to clean up right now, was the one of the worst things that could have happened in an industry that was already seeing huge downturn in sales and profits. If you think this is possibly going to put a whole lot of car dealerships out of business, go ahead and type yes, yes, yes in the chat somewhere. And while you're in that chat, take the time to click the description. And within the description, you're going to see a link to join the Carsharing YouTube channel. When you join the Carsharing YouTube channel, it will open you up to exclusive shout outs during my lives. It would also give you access to previously unreleased videos, especially for my private group, of which you're going to be a part of. Plus, you get discount on merch. You're going to get discounts on exclusive merch. All right? So what I want you to do right now is take the time to hit the smash button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell. So next time I'm live, you're going to get notification before I go live. If it's a scheduled live, you're going to get notification so you can watch some premiere videos before the live actually starts. Just like there was some premiere nothingness of silence after I kicked off the live and I said, I'll be back. Then I went back and did some stuff I had to do. Then I came back. And then you had the boys saying, anyone there? Yeah, there was somebody here, the boys. I said, the chat lines are open. Go ahead and chat amongst yourself, which I'm glad you did. But they are open. So go ahead right now. Tell me what you think is going to happen to this car industry that everybody likes. What's going to happen to the car industry and why would it be a problem? Whatever it is going to happen to the car industry, why would it be a problem? Would it be such a huge problem because people forget about what it was like to be in an industry such as the automotive industry? Would that be the problem? Would that be the nail that finally gets this industry where it probably should have been in a while? Think about it. When's the last time you saw a huge reorganization in the automotive industry? Besides the strike of the auto union workers, when's the last time you saw a redistribution of wealth within the car industry? When's the last time you saw that? When is the last time? Somebody put a date somewhere in the chat. The last time you actually honestly saw a reorganization in a major automotive industry. I tell you one I remember. I can remember the days of Lee Iacocca. Remember Lee Iacocca? If you remember who Lee Iacocca is, go ahead and type yes, yes, yes in the chat real quick. Lee Iacocca. That was an automotive industry legend. who had worked for the different Detroit automakers and was a turnaround expert. Okay, was a deal maker in the automotive industry and a turnaround expert. Remember when he left and became CEO of Chrysler, and how Chrysler then was in an upturn in terms of product redesigns and new product introduction? Remember then? You can remember the days of Lee Iacocca, and you can remember the kinds of deals that he did to get Chrysler out of the slump that it was in. If you remember those kind of deals, I will submit to you that's probably what the automotive industry needs right now. Another Lee Iacocca-ish restructuring. So we just hit the 30-minute mark on the live. Again, I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in and put some people in prayer that had to be drained out due to the impacts of Hurricane Harleen, that storm of a hurricane that nobody thought was going to do what it did, but it sure did. And people are digging out from dirt. They're digging out from flooding. They're digging out from a whole mess. And would the automotive industry dig out from the mess it finds itself in today? I'd like to know what you guys think. Go ahead and comment below. What do you think is going to happen to the automotive industry post Hurricane Harleen? Do you think there's going to be serviceable cars in the inventory? Do you think the cars that you thought were brand new or not, so much so, or probably much going to be written off and sold for pennies on the dollar? I don't know. From a consumer perspective, would that then usher in a rush to buy up these cars? And who's going to be buying these cars? What about the insurance companies that have to insure these cars? Are they going to be taking a write-off, a huge charge to the bottom line? I don't know. You got to explain that to me and explain the dynamics of how somebody on the sales floor of one of those big car companies could convince somebody to do a deal with them. All right? How is that going to be? These are some of the topics and questions that I want to leave you guys with to ponder. Until next time, this is the Carsharing YouTube channel. We're heading out. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And when you subscribe, it's going to help. The algorithm is also going to help the channel continue to bring relevant, up-to-the-minute news about the car industry and how it impacts you from a consumer perspective and the level of detail that's required from a reorganization perspective to get the car industry postured for a better day ahead. All right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the like button. You could also join the Carsharing YouTube channel. The link to join is somewhere in the description below. When you join, you get access to exclusive merch. This merch is for select individuals that are looking to understand the knowledge about the car industry and what it means to be in the car business. So when you join, click the link. That link, again, I kept that link somewhere in the description below. Click that link, join the Carsharing YouTube channel where you get access to exclusive merch at a discount. You get access to never before released videos for exclusive members based on your levels. And you get to get shout outs. Okay, we're giving you the shout outs that you need during our